ni Senator Robin Padilla. Ang walang ginagawa po para tumulong kayo, tapos si Sara Duterte. Kasi busy kayo sa politika, busy kayo sa mga trouble, mga problema, tulad ng impeachment trial at yung ICC case ni Digong. Lahat pang personal ang inaayos ninyo, yung mga problema na kayo-kayo rin ang may gawa. Di ba? Pero yung ating Pangulong Bongbong, busy sa pagtatrabaho, sa pag-asikaso ng ating mga mamamayang Filipino. Hello po mga kababayan, mga tugang, mga manoy, mga manay. Ano nakita nyo niyan? Kumusta po kayo? Ako po si Dante Maravillas, Bicolano vlogger, broadcast journalist from Albay. Si Senator Robin Padilla may sinasabi na naman, naghanap na naman po ng diferensya sa tuyang gobyerno. Ayan, sabi niya, yan ang post niya. Langis, malaking issue ito sa bilihin. May plano na ba? May plano na ba tayo sa nangyayari at mangyayari pa? Yan si Robin Padilla. Kayo man lang yung walang plano. Ang plano ninyo, lahat politika for 2028 election na agad. Diba sabi mo doon sa Kuala Lumpur, mag-volunteer kang campaign manager ni Sara Duterte. Inaanapan mga kababayan ng plano yung ating administrasyon. In place yung mga plano, mamaya pag-usapan natin. Ano nga ba yung plano? Ano ginagawa ng ating Marcos administration po? But before that, dito muna tayo po sa joke time para relax lang tayo kahit magulo ang mundo. Malayo pa naman siguro yung World War III. Yun ang pinag-uusapan na eh. So, kwentong katatawanan muna po tayo para bawas stress. Padala ni Gimo Bones. Taga dito lang ito sa amin sa Albay. Taga Malilipot Albay, 1st District, yung lugar ng mga lagman. Isang araw, nakita ng tatay yung kanyang anak, umaga, naduduwal, na susuka. Pangalawang araw, ganun din, pangatlo, pangapat, hanggang panglimang araw, 1 linggo na po, ganun lagi yung nakikita ng tatay sa kanyang anak. So, hindi na makatiis yung tatay. Tinanong yung kanyang anak, bakit niya lagi kang naduduwal sa umaga? Bakit niya halos araw naduduwal ka? Sabi ng anak, tatay, parang buntis yata ako. Nabigla yung tatay, sabay hampas doon sa anak. Sabi ng tatay po, magtigil ka nga Mario sa kakapantasya mo. Lalaki pala po. Bakling. Nagpapantasya, mga kababayan, na buntis siya. Inampas ng tatay po. Magtigil ka niya sa kakapantasya mo. Ayos. Anyway, joke man lang po mga kababayan. Matik na. Padala ko na lang yung 200 pesos sa GCash mo. GCash number mo. Kasali ka na rin sa monthly draw. Pag nabunot yung pangalan mo, 5,000 pesos. Pag hindi, kasali ka pa rin sa grand draw sa December. 10,000 pesos na yung cash prize. Ito, ang dami-dami na po sa mga entries. Yung mga gusto magpadala ng kanilang entries sa ating joke time portion, padala ninyo po sa messenger ko, Dante Maravillas sa Facebook. At sa page natin, Dante Maravillas Vlog. Yung maiksi lang po na joke, at yung joke na nakakatawa, hindi yung joke na hindi ka man matatawa. Maiiyak ka. Diba? Yung joke na kaipuan mo pang kitikon yung kilikili. Kitikin yung kilikili para matawa ka. Dapat yung nakakatawa talaga. At hindi bastos, hindi censored, at hindi din nakakadiri. O yung mga hindi pa po naka-subscribe sa ating YouTube channel, Bullseye News on the Go, click subscribe naman po ninyo. At share ninyo sa inyong mga kakilala. Di balikan natin yung ating kwento tungkol dito kay Robin Padilla. Hinahanapan ng trabaho yung ating gobyerno in relation sa conflict mga kababayan doon sa Israel, giyera ng Israel at saka ng Iran. Yung ating gobyerno po, matik yung response. And in fact, to give you an update, yung 21 Philippine officials po na na-stranded, na i-evacuate na po. Nag-seminar kasi mga kababayan. Hindi seminar, ang tawag mo doon? Educational tour para pag-aralan yung agriculture ng Israel. Na-stranded po. Umaksyon kaagad po yung ating gobyerno. O yan po sila. Tinulungan agad-agad mga kababayan ng ating gobyerno. Yan o, nasa Jordan na sila o. 21 Philippine government officials safely evacuated from Israel to Jordan amid escalating regional conflict. Hindi po pabaya yung ating Marcos administration. Basta lang magdadaldal itong si Robin Padilla. Wala nga kayong contribution. Yan o, report ng Philippine News Agency. The 21 Filipino national and local government officials who were visiting Israel when conflict with Iran broke out have all crossed Jordan safely. Sabi po ng ating Philippine Embassy in Amman, Jordan, kahapon. The first group of OFWs exiting Israel through Jordan is also expected to cross the border in the next few days. Yung 21 mga Filipinos, sinadubong po ni Philippine Ambassador to Jordan, Wilfredo Santos, at the King Hussein border, where they were provided with the necessary assistance and issued transit visas at all at no cost to the Philippine government. Tinulungan agad mga kababayan. Maasikaso po yung ating gobyerno. Yan o, updated palagi. Close monitoring ang ating Pangulong Bongbong. Yung ruta po na-identify na for voluntary evacuation in Iran and Israel, sabi ng ating Pangulong Bongbong. Pero yung iba nating mga kababayan, ayaw man umalis doon sa Israel kasi may mga underground shelters naman po sila. Yung mga amo nila may mga underground shelters. Pero ang sabi ng ating Pangulong Bongbong Marcos, yung mga gusto na umuwi, tutulungan po ng ating gobyerno. Yan ang sabi ng ating Pangulo. President Marcos said for the first batch of Filipino voluntary repatriates, si Department of Migrant Workers Secretary Hans Kakdak was already on his way to Jordan para mag-coordinate both the evacuees from Israel and Iran. Sabi po ng DFA, it is planning to raise the alert levels in Iran and Israel as escalating conflict between the two nations entered its 6th day. Once a decision is out, sabi po ni DFA Undersecretary Eduardo Jose de Vega, the agency may temporarily raise the alert level in Israel from 2 restriction phase to 3 voluntary repatriation phase. Yung alert level niya for Iran currently under alert level 1, precautionary phase pa lang, will also be likely raised to voluntary repatriation phase o alert 3. Pero sabi niya, we cannot raise it to mandatory because most of the Filipinos there won't go home anyway. They have Iranian families there. Ibig sabihin, yung mga Filipino na nandun sa Iran, mga kababayan, ayaw man umuwi, unang-una may pamilya na sila doon, na pangasawa siguro ng mga Iranians. So anyway, tingnan natin sa mga susunod na araw, baka matapos din kaagad ito kasi nag-warning na po siya, nagmatigas si Iranian Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei sumurrender without condition. Pero nag-warning na po siya, si US President Donald Trump, na pwede silang umatake o pwedeng hindi rin. Depende sa magiging desisyon ni Ali Khamenei. Pero kahapon, lumabas na sa television, si Khamenei nagmamatigas po. Tingnan natin kung hanggang saan yung pagmamatigas niya. Kasi nag-warning na din po yung Israel, matutulad ka niya kay Saddam Hussein. Pag nagmatigas ka, kasi pati yung mga Iranians po, ayaw na po sa sa mga ginagawa, mga alipin sa mga Iranians ni Ali Khamenei. Kasi nung panahon po ng Shah of Iran, maganda naman po ang relasyon ng Iran sa Israel, pati sa Amerika. Kaya lang nang patalsikin yung Shah of Iran, naka-exile po. Yan po yung dating leader ng Iran, si Reza Pahlavi, Crown Prince of Iran. Nasa exile po siya to make over po after the revolution. Noong 1979 yung siya, itong si Ayatollah Khamenei, doon nagsimula po. Lagi na lang bukang bibig, death to Israel, death to America. Kaya sabi po ni US President Donald Trump, ito na niya. Ayan si Trump po. Trump considers US attack on Iran, demands unconditional surrender. Pero nagmatigas yung Iran, mga kababayan. Ito po yung latest na balita as reported by CBS News. Nagmamatigas talaga po si Khamenei. At malamang sa malamang, kung ano yung sinapit ni Saddam Hussein, yun talagang sasapitin, mga kababayan, ni Khamenei. Pakinggan natin yung report.
President today saying nobody knows what he's going to do. There is a
CBS
sense in the region that the United States might get more involved in the conflict between Israel and Iran. For perspective on all that, I want to go to Holly Williams, who comes to us from northern Iraq.
President Trump has called for Iran's unconditional surrender. And today we had a response to that in a televised address by Iran's supreme leader, the Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. His tone was bellicose, as you might expect from the Iranian leader with his country under bombardment. He said that Iranians do not respond well to the language of threats. He was defiant. He vowed that Iran would never surrender to coercion. And perhaps most pertinently for Americans, he said that any US military intervention will, quote, undoubtedly result in irreparable damage to them. Now, Iran has already accused the US of being complicit in Israel's attack and has threatened to retaliate against American military bases. There are many US bases here in the Middle East, along with around 40,000 American troops. But perhaps the most obvious target for an Iranian retaliation would be the roughly 2,500 US troops here in Iraq, simply because they are right next door to Iran. If the US does get directly involved in this conflict, and if Iran then chooses to retaliate, the question is what Iran is capable of now. Israel already has air superiority over Iran after just a few days of war. And while most attention is focused on nuclear targets, just yesterday Israel said it had hit 12 missile launch and storage sites. Back in 2020, Iran targeted a US base here in Iraq with ballistic missiles. But could they still do that? We don't know for sure. Holly Williams, CBS News, Erbil in northern Iraq.
So yan po, defiant, mga kababayan, yung leader ng Iran, si Ali Khamenei, yung supreme leader nila. Ngayon, tayo naman po dito, yung mga preparations, mayroon ng preparations po. It is in place. So sabi po ni Yosek De Vega, may mga plano na anya tayo to pull out non-essential personnel at the Philippine Embassy in Tehran. Sabi ni De Vega, there are less than 20 personnel and officials manning the Philippine Embassy in Iran, including Ambassador Roberto Manalo, who is expected to stay behind. So nandun pa pala, mga kababayan, si Ambassador Manalo. So sabi dito sa balita, some 14 Filipinos requesting repatriation will join the embassy staff should the evacuation plan post through, possibly via land crossing the neighboring Turkmenistan, which has an estimated travel time of 13 hours. So nagta-travel sila, mga kababayan, by land, hindi pwedeng by air po. Kasi hindi pwedeng magpalipad ng eroplano. Nagliliparan yung mga missiles from Iran to Israel and Israel to Iran. So hindi pinapayagan po ng mga Israeli authorities para iwas disgrasya po. By land. Some 150 Filipinos in Israel, on the other hand, have previously signified their intention to leave the Jewish state as soon as possible. Tapos yung 21 Filipino national and local government officials, including 9 vice mayors, 4 vice mayors, 9 mayors, 4 vice mayors, and 2 party list representatives, who are part of an Israeli government-sponsored study visit
are also stuck in Israel as airspace remains closed. Pero nando na po, na-cross na papuntang Jordan. Ito na po sila. Kaya malabo itong mga sinasabi po ni Senator Robin Padilla. Ang walang ginagawa po para tumulong kayo, tapos si Sara Duterte, kasi busy kayo sa politika, busy kayo sa mga trouble, mga problema, tulad ng impeachment trial at yung ICC case ni Digong. Lahat pang personal ang inaayos ninyo, yung mga problema na kayo rin ang may gawa. Di ba? Pero yung ating Pangulong Bongbong, busy sa pagtatrabaho, sa pag-asikaso ng ating mga mamamayang Filipino. Hands-on siya eh. Yan ang ating Pangulo. Sabi dito sa report ng Presidential Communications Office, PBBM orders no Filipino left behind in Middle East tension. Hindi kayo kasi updated sa mga ginagawa ng gobyerno kasi yung panahon ninyo, nandun na lang kay Sara Duterte, saka kay Digong na obos. At yung mga kwentong pinagkakaabala ninyo, yung mga kwentong fake news. Di ba? Tulad ng AI video na pinaniwalaan, shiner pa ni Bato de la Rosa. You see? Doon kayo busy. Ang pinanonood ninyo, yung mga sinungaling ninyong DDS vloggers, yun na lang lagi. At saka yung mga pinagdadaldal na walang kabuluhan, mga kababayan ni Harry Roque, na denied, sabi sa latest report, yung application for asylum sa Netherlands. Pero nag-deny, mga kababayan. Fake news daw, marites lang. Si DOJ Secretary Remulla, sabi ni Harry Roque. Doon na lang nauubos yung energy ninyo, yung panahon ninyo, sa pakikinig sa mga toxic stories ng inyong mga kasama. Hindi ninyo tularan si Senator Win Gatchalian. Pati pa itong si Senator Win Gatchalian, nagpapatawag daw ng Senate inquiry in relation sa epekto nitong Israel-Iran conflict. Kasama to si Sir Win Gatchalian sa Fantastic Five na mga senador. Sabi dito, Senator Sherwin Gatchalian eyeing Senate probe into the impact of Israel-Iran conflict. I am filing a resolution today to assess the risk to our energy security. Kandaan ang ating sandata sa kawalang katiyakan dulot ng giyera sa pagitan ng Israel at Iran. Ganitong uri ng senador yung kailangan natin. Matitino na senador. Kasama si Sherwin po sa hindi sumang-ayon na ibalik, i-remand yung impeachment case to the Congress laban kay Sara Duterte. Hindi siya kasama sa 18 Hudas. Ayan Kaya sabi ng mga netizens, si Marvin Falcan Santos Babiera, this is what we want to hear from our leaders, not politics of different colors. Plans to cushion the impact of this war on our energy, displaced OFWs, and the overall effect on our economy. There should be a government advisory coming out to the ordinary citizens who may be affected by this war. At least by doing so, we may feel that there is a functioning government who cares for its people. Diba? Appreciated, mga kababayan, itong mga aksyon ni Gatchalian. Pero yung ating administrasyon po, may mga plano na. Ayan fuel subsidies for severely affected scene if Israel-Iran war hikes oil prices, sabi ng ating Pangulong Bongbong. Kasi po, nangyari na ito. Noong panahon ng kanyang tatay, nangyari na po ito. Nagka-oil crisis because of the conflict sa Middle East. Gera po. Di ba? Hindi na ito bago sa ating Pangulong Bongbong Marcos kasi nangyari na ito noong panahon ng kanyang tatay. Na talaga may disruption sa oil supply. And in fact, nagtaasa na po yung presyo ng fuel, pati mga consumer goods. Mga kababayan, in the long term, magiging apektado pag hindi po ito na tapos agad na conflict. Pati nga mga stocks, US stocks, nagbagsakan po. Talagang gano'n ang epekto ng giyera. Kaya manalangin po tayo na wag sana pong lumala at mauwi ito sa global conflict. World War III. Pag nag-World War III po, tribulation na yan siguro. Baka ito na yung tinatawag na Battle of Armageddon. Wag naman po sana. Kaya lang, as prophesied in the Word of God, that it will come po. That is the destiny of this world. Hindi man natin po maiwasan kasi nasusulat nga po. Pag hindi man mangyari, di ibig sabihin, hindi totoo yung mga prophecy as written in the Bible. Pero hindi pa po katapusan ng mundo. Yan ang tatandaan natin. Kaya lagi kong sinasabi, be saved. Hindi natin alam ang buhay. Hindi natin kontrolado ang bukas. Kaya lagi dapat handa to face the Lord at any time, mga kababayan. Diba? Katulad nung Air India. Imagine, sa isang iglap, mga kababayan, in just 30 seconds after take-off, isa lang yung nakaligtas sa pasahero. You see? So, ganon mga kababayan. Dito sa gira, hindi man natin alam kung ano yung mangyayari. Pero yung Israel po, determinado to get rid of the supreme leader ng Iran. Kasi nung panahon niya, maganda naman yung relasyon ng Persians with the Israelis. Magkakaibigan po sila to make over ito pong Islamic Republic leader after the revolution in 1979. Dito na nagsimula po na laging bukang bibig po ng supreme leader ng Iran, death to Israel, death to America. Ito na ngayon. Ang dahilan, nag-preemptive strike yung Israel sa Iran kasi weeks na lang daw or months before makadevelop ang Iran ng nuclear weapons na hindi niya natin pwedeng paintulutan. Kasi pag pinantulutan natin ito, it is an existential threat sa mismong Israel, hindi lang sa Israel, pati sa Amerika and the whole world. Kasi po, terrorist sponsor po ang Iran. So may plano na para sa fuel subsidies ang gobyerno po. President Marcos Jr. said that fuel subsidies may be granted for stakeholders who will be severely affected by a projected oil price hike because of the war between Iran and Israel. The government has given fuel subsidies during the pandemic and it will have to do so again should oil prices spike because of recent tensions in the Middle East. Sabi po ni PBBM, we are starting already with the assumption that oil prices will in fact go up, and I certainly cannot see how it will not, because the Strait of Hormuz can be blocked if it escalates. So sabi ng ating Pangulo, we will have to do the same for those who are severely affected stakeholders by any instability in the price of oil. The potential hike in fuel prices because of the escalating conflict between Israel and Iran is a very serious problem. Sabi po ng ating Pangulo, the oil cannot come out of the sources, so the prices will certainly be affected. And it's a serious problem. So baka isisi na naman ninyo sa ating Pangulong Bongbong Marcos kung tumaas yung presyo ng mga petroleum products, pati yung mga bilihin. Wala pong kinalaman sa gira ng Iran at Israel yung ating Pangulo sa disruptions ng supply ng fuel, sa pagbagsak ng economy because of conflicts sa ibang bansa. Walang kinalaman dyan ang ating Pangulong Bongbong Marcos. Pero ang kinalaman lang ng ating Pangulo, pag walang preparasyon at walang ginagawa to cushion the impact, doon ninyo sisihin yung ating Pangulo. Pero as of this time, matik po yung yung naging response, yung reaksyon ng ating Pangulo. Kasi nga po, ang ating Pangulo, hands-on sa kanyang mga ginagawa. Updated siya sa mga balita at hindi po pabaya at hindi tamad na leader. Bakit niya, Mr. Maravillas, may kilala kang tamad na leader? Napakarami. Hindi lang isa, pero mas matindi yung isa. Sige lang ang sweldo. Tapos, sigang pasyal-pasyal, may lakas ng loob pang manira sa gobyerno. O, di ba? Yan ang masaklap, mga kababayan, sa atin. Sa sinapit natin dito. Agulo na nga ang mundo, nakikigulo pa dito sa ating bansa, imbis tumulong sa trabaho. Ano ba pa? O ngayon, ibigay ko sa inyo yung latest na balita from ABC News. Sabi dito, Trump is getting comfortable with idea of attacking Iran's nuclear sites. So, madaling sabi, yung Amerika, possibly, it is just a matter of time before finally sumama sa, sa pag-atake para tuldukan mga kababayan ang pagmamalabis nitong Iranian leader and the threat to peace, hindi lang sa Middle East kundi sa buong mundo ng Iran. Pakinggan po natin yung report ngayon ng ABC News.
Good evening. We begin tonight here with the breaking news. President Trump in the situation
Breaking
room
news
today with his national security team for a second day in a row now, meeting on Iran. And tonight, a source now telling ABC News the president is getting comfortable with the idea of the U.S. striking Iran's key nuclear facility called Fordo, 300 feet deep under a mountain. The president has not given the final okay, and of course it comes as the world watches and wonders, will the U.S. strike Iran? Now, in the Oval Office today, the president saying he is not looking to fight, but that, quote, Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon, saying if it's a choice between fighting and them having a nuclear weapon, you have to do what you have to do. Now, if the president gives the order for the U.S. striking Iran's key nuclear facility deep in that mountain, Fordo, what would this entail? Martha Raddatz standing by with what she's learned tonight, and ABC's chief White House correspondent Mary Bruce leading us off. She's at the White House.
Tonight, President Trump gathering his national security team in the Situation Room for the second day in a row. A source familiar with the intelligence tells our Martha Raddatz they think Trump is getting comfortable with the idea of the U.S. striking Iran's key nuclear facility called Fordo, buried 300 feet deep under a mountain. Separately, sources tell ABC News that the president told top advisors he approved of attack plans for Iran, but has not yet decided whether to put them into effect.
I may do it, I may not do it. I mean, nobody knows what I'm going to do. I can tell you this, that...
Pwede ko anyang gawin, pwedeng hindi. Depende sa response
It comes as Israel
ng
intensifies its
Iran.
attacks on
Kaya lang
Iran.
matigas talaga yung Iran po. Si Khamenei.
The IDF saying it struck at least 60 targets today.
Never daw siyang
including nuclear
susurrender.
facilities, missile manufacturing sites, and military bases. Trump has demanded Iran's unconditional surrender, but tonight the country's supreme leader defiant. Surrender to what? The Ayatollah said. The Iranian nation cannot be surrendered. We will not accept any kind of submission.
Di daw siya
And then
paasosoko.
this warning to the United States. The damage America will suffer if it makes a military intervention in this field will undoubtedly be irreparable.
The Tucker Carlson expert on Iran.
Tonight, the president's own party torn on what to do. A division on full display in this clash between Texas Senator Ted Cruz, who supports a strike, and Tucker Carlson, who doesn't want America to get involved.
How many people live in Iran, by the way? I don't know the population at all. No, I don't know the population.
90 million ang populasyon ng Iran po.
The country you seek to top.
Yung Israel, 9 million.
How many people live in Iran? 92 million. Okay. Yeah, how could you not know that?
Kaya lang mas advanced yung
I don't sit
military
around memorizing population tables. Well, it's kind of relevant because you're calling for the overthrow of the government.
The president today
ng
asked
ano,
for his message to Americans
ng
worried about the U.S.
Israel.
getting involved in another
Magaling
conflict
yung
in the
Israel.
Middle East after what they witnessed in Iraq and Afghanistan.
Well, I don't want to get involved either, but I've been saying for 20 years, maybe longer, that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. I've been saying it for a long time. And I think they were a few weeks away from having one. Iran can't have a nuclear weapon. Too much devastation. And they'd use it. You know, I believe they'd use it. Others won't use it. But I believe they'd use it.
The big decision facing Trump
Yan
tonight,
yung
whether to
gagamitin
drop
po.
a
Napakalaking
30,000-pound bomb, the largest in America's
Bomba.
arsenal, on that Iranian nuclear facility, buried 300 feet under that mountain. The president, who in his last term ended the nuclear deal with
300
Iran that
feet
allowed
deep.
in nuclear inspectors, has been
Yung
urging
nuclear
Iran
facilities
to negotiate an end
nasa
to its
ilalim ng
nuclear
bundok.
program. Tonight, he says he still hasn't made up his mind on whether the U.S. military should enter the conflict.
I have ideas as to what to do, but I haven't made a final. I like to make the final decision 1 second before it's due, you know, because things change. I mean, especially with war.
Now the president is still holding out hope for negotiations to end Iran's nuclear program.
Kaabang-abang po siya. Bantayan natin kung aatake yung Amerika.
President Trump has not made any final decision on whether the U.S. will strike Iran. David.
Yes, appearing to approve the plan but not giving the order.
So, nasa plano na po, on the table, pero hindi pa ipinag-uutos ng US President. Ito yung massive ordnance penetrator bomb na gagamitin po ng Amerika laban sa Iran. Ang target po, yung nuclear site, nuclear facility ng Iran. Alam na ng US kung saan, nasa ilalim niya ng bundok. At ito lang na uri ng bomba ang pwedeng makapag-penetrate sa ilalim po para totally madurog. Kailangan na napakalakas na uri ng bomba. Ito yung nire-ready, mga kababayan. Sabi dyan, one of the few weapons capable of damaging that facility and the centrifuges believed inside in the latest GBU, das 57AB, massive ordnance penetrator bomb known as Bunker Buster. It's 20 feet long, weighs 30,000 pounds, and is capable of penetrating 200 feet deep inside a target and then exploding. So, ganun siya kalakas, mga kababayan. Pag hindi pa lumambot ito pong si Khamenei, pati yung assassination plan ng Israel na sabi ni Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, it is on the table niya. Dami ng mga Iranian generals po ang ineliminate ng Israel, and kasama sa plano mismong i-eliminate itong si Khamenei. Kailang kinontra muna, at least for now, sabi po ni Trump, for now. Ibig sabihin, pwedeng magbago ang magiging posisyon ng Amerika. Later on, baka i-authorize na mismo ni Trump ang pag-eliminate kay Khamenei. So, bantay po tayo, mga kababayan, at palaging manalangin. Lalo yung ating mga OFWs dyan sa Middle East. Lalo sa Israel, kasi napakarami. Sa Iran ko, konti lang siguro. Pero sa Israel, napakarami tayong mga kababayan nagtatrabaho po dyan. At itong ating programa, mga kababayan, atid sa inyo nitong ating mga sponsors. Firmax, Firming and Lifting Cream. Pinapay po sa mga pulses in affected area. Mainam po ito sa mga pains at paninigas ng mga kaso-kasuan. Ito sa mukha naman yung application, anti-aging, Automax po siya. Ito ay Glow 60, mga kababayan. Whitening po siya. Made in South Korea. Ito naman po, Ningxia Red Mix Fruit Drink. Gawa po siya sa goji berry. May anti-cancer properties po siya. At sa mga naghanap po ng malinis and spacious fitness gym, pumunta lang po kayo sa aming Colossal Fitness Gym. May Grab ka rental din po kami. At bills payment po sa aming office. At saka sa mga mahilig po sa mga imported bags, manood po kayo sa live selling ni Madam Aileen Rosales sa kanyang Aileen Closet po. Pati mga shoes, ito yung kanya po. Ito yung kanyang page. Kita ninyo, napakagandang mga online selling po siya. Si Madam Aileen Rosales. At cellphone number niya po, 773-798-7816. Saka, ito po pala, bagong product namin. I am worldwide amazing pure organic barley. Negosyo po ng aking anak na architect and entrepreneur. Yan po, Riz Maravillas. Endorsed by Maritoni Fernandez, cancer survivor. Yan po mga health benefits niya. Boost immunity, improves digestion, enhances energy levels, packed with antioxidants, prevent cancer. I-message na lang po ninyo si Riz Maravillas sa Facebook sa mga inquiries ninyo in orders. Ito naman po yung bago naming product na binibenta online. Eye Glow Serum, whitening po siya. Tingnan ninyo yung epekto sa aking anak na architect before and now. Yung mga inquiries po ninyo, dumiretso na lang kayo sa kanyang Facebook account, Riz Maravillas.